Welcome to the show. It's deep with a twist. We're laughing through the scriptures where humor coexists. Cultural, come on and take a seat. It's faithful and it's fun wherever it meets feet. Dive into the stories. Hear the podcast call. It's Mormon stuff with a smile in the cultural hall.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall, an Articles of News episode. Didn't you guys just talk about Kalani Satake coming and staying at BYU? Yes, we did, but there's more, so much more. The internet has favored us with so many funny things. It is time for an Articles of News with my friend Molly the Ash Ashton. Welcome in.
Hi, thank you. Good to be here.
Now, for people that want to know the backroom discussions about this, Verlin and I, we recorded as soon as we could. And actually, we didn't know that the news was going to break. We just sort of scheduled the time. And then, sure enough, a couple hours before we recorded, it's like, oh, he's staying. And then later, a couple hours, you said, oh, hey, we should do an episode. And we were like, we did. And you're like, oh, but I have so much more to share. So I'm excited to welcome you in about that. We'll also talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, something that I can't believe that I didn't mention as far as that goes. And we will be doing news that we have put off in the Cultural Hall for months and months as part of this news episode. Kalani Satake, let's start that with you.
Hey, well, first I need to start with that we were at the last home game on Saturday, of course, and we had the best time. We were invited into Jason McGowan, our Crumbls CEO. He invited us to his suite. So
must be nice.
It was very nice. Our kids were across the stadium, freezing cold. We were in the warm. We had Tucanos for lunch. We had our own cougar tails, cougar paws, which are a new ice cream treat they brought in.
Tell me, wait.
Yeah.
Don't try and blow past the cougar paw. What is a cougar paw?
It is the most delicious ice cream bar. It's shaped like a little cougar paw.
Okay, so it's on a stick.
It's on a stick.
Okay.
And
Vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
Dipped in chocolate.
Okay, good.
And it had a hint of a coconut flavor. So we believe they use like coconut oil to keep the chocolate nice and smooth, which it was delicious. Like I can't even tell you. This cute kid came in with a little apron and like some creamery milk and chocolate milk and cougar paws. And anyway, it was really, really fun.
Because when you sit in the CEO of Crumbls box, they bring the concessions to you. You don't have to. You don't go to the concessions. They bring the concessions to you. That's pretty awesome.
It was pretty cool. And I actually have to tell you another cool thing. So the suite is actually two suites. He bought them both and took the wall down in between. And he said the thing that he didn't like about the suites is you can't hear the energy of the crowd. You can't, you're cheering and you're not a part of it. So he had new windows installed in his suite. And I said, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And he said, well, like, I don't really think most people can. But he had these windows installed with remote controls and it raises halfway. So you're like a part of the crowd. And it was really, really fun. We're very blessed that we were able to do that. But
hold on. Commentary needed. That is like being in the mother's room and not being able to feel the spirit from the the main part of the church, from the chapel. If he could break down the walls and develop the air quotes windows to allow the spirit to permeate the building, I'm telling you, innovator, he's breaking down walls all over the place. Okay, so the windows, yes.
And actually, speaking of that, I don't know if this is normal in churches from like years ago, but my church growing up, the mother's room was next to the chapel and it had a window.
Yes.
Where you could, is that normal? Because like nowadays.
No, it's not. It's not normal. Now we have one blueprint of what a chapel should look like, and every chapel looks like that. But we used to have things that would be both unique and purposeful in our building.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but then also on our last episode, I was telling you that my daughter is obsessed with Bear Bachmeyer, and she's like, I want something signed by him. Yeah. We waited around and we met Bear Bachmeyer, Tiger Bachmeyer. We met Chase Roberts. All the big players, and took pictures with them. And so she was like on cloud nine. So it was all in all a really great day, really great game, really exciting. And then Sunday turned to devastation when we saw that Penn State was flying out to Provo to wine and dine Kalani Satake. But anyhow,
interesting that it's a Sunday, right? Hey, Kalani, what time's your ward done?
Yeah.
Listen, it's an opportunity for your family to get together so you can justify doing it on a Sunday. It does seem like a weird, like out of touch flex to go on a
Totally.
Sunday.
Totally weird. Totally weird. Anyhow, and so I was, everyone saw the Crumble CEO. You and Verlin talked a little bit about Jason. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, that he posted like on Twitter, we got to get out. We got to support our coach, and I got to get off the sidelines and do some work here. And he definitely did. I mean, he's a big donor there. He personally, I mean, Crumble does too, but he personally is a big donor. Anyway, it was hilarious though, the number of comments on social media about Crumble and how like the Sports Illustrated article that said, when in the history of the world has college football and the big cookie store come together to, bring all of this, to light. So that was really interesting. And the amount of funny comments and memes the last couple of days have been really, really kind of amusing.
So I don't want to be the boss of you, but if this is not happening, you need to, and I'm being very serious, you guys need to strike while the iron is hot. And I know that you have the ear of the CEO.
Yeah.
If there is not some sort of Kalani Satake themed cookie that is coming very soon, and probably, I mean, they're very smart and innovative, so that probably is already coming. But if it is not capitalizing on this moment with that attention, huge miss.
Yeah, I agree with you. I expect and I hope something's coming soon, but I will definitely plug that as well. If you noticed, you and I were sending texts to each other about people delivering cookies to the Penn State athletic department from Crumble.
Yes.
Like such a crazy, like, what is this world that we're in? But my biggest thing here is I watched the whole news conference last night. There was a great article in Deseret News this morning, just talking about the decision that Kalani made and how he was talking to Lavelle Edwards' wife over the last couple of days. He was talking to, oh my gosh, the coach of the Chiefs. So I can't, Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid.
He
Yeah.
had several people that he was consulting with about this decision. And I will say, just being a huge BYU football fan, I am not into really any other sport. So after this, Verlin can do all the sports until next August. But I don't watch BYU basketball, but I think I need to because I know this is a big year. So I'm going to try. But Kalani Satake is such an example of just a good man who just wants so much for these boys and these men. And he was on the BYU football team the years I was at BYU from 97 to 2000. So and he was, played in the last year. Lavelle Edwards was there. And I've just always thought he's like the next Lavelle Edwards. He really is such a great person and he loves his fans. He said in the news conference yesterday, he's like, my goal is to hug every single BYU football fan. And I'm like, well, he hasn't hugged me yet. So
yeah. Come on, Kalani. Look, crumble right here, Kalani.
Seriously.
Come on.
Now, I will say we did get to spend the second quarter on the sideline. Andy and I did on Saturday, and I got some pictures of Kalani. I mean, he was very busy, so I didn't bother him with.
Can you imagine the game's going on and you tap him on the shoulder? Hey, yeah, just real quick. I know it's defense. It's fine. Would you mind? Would you mind doing this photo? Jeez.
Quick selfie here. Yeah. They don't need you right now. Anyhow, so I got a couple pictures, but I loved part of this article in the Deseret News. He said, on the wall in their room or their locker room, he has a quote. It says, "We follow the example of the toughest man to ever walk the earth, our Savior, Jesus Christ." And it said, it isn't lost on Satake that such a statement couldn't be printed on a wall at Penn State, a public university. And I just loved listening to him last night. He got very emotional, very choked up about his, and every time I read it and listen, it chokes me up as well. His love for the Savior and for being an example and for leading these boys and raising them up to be good men. And I don't know. He's just one in a million. Tanner Wall said, playing for Kalani has changed the trajectory of our lives. That's why he's the perfect man for the job. Any label you could find for our lives, Kalani has had a touch point on that. Anyway, it says, I know that my job is to win football games, but man, I feel like my job is much more than that. Sometimes we separate service from everyday life, but what I learned from my Latter-day Saint Church mission is that your service is actually who you have to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm very happy, and I don't know. I'm all choked up.
Well, I think it's significant to note that I think that the church collectively sort of took him for granted a little bit. And now I think there was a quick check because here's the deal. And like Verlin and I talked about, if he was being paid $1 million and someone offered $2 million, he's like, nah, it's easy. I'll stay here. This is my church. This is a program. I have this great place and all that. But it was a tempting enough offer or a close enough call that he's talking to, Sister Edwards, and he's talking to, Andy Reid, and he's strongly considering it because where he was to where he will be now, there was such a divide.
Yep.
And how many times in the past have there been opportunities where people that have gone through the BYU system have not been appreciated and they've gone somewhere else, and not just sports, in other ways as well. I think it's really great that they came to the plate and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's make this happen." And I hope that it wasn't just Crumble and Qualtrics and all doTERRA and all these things. I hope it genuinely was an overall consensus helped by those individuals to say, let's make sure this person stays. Because I think, conversely, I think him going to Penn State or anywhere else could have been an amazing opportunity as well.
Right.
A huge missionary opportunity for him to say, I am this guy. This is this team. We have different things because I don't have to deal with an honor code, but I have an honor code. You're playing on my team if you A, B, C, and D, and being able to build up people that way in a different way than he can at BYU. But grateful that he gets to stay and do that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that my husband said on Sunday. He said, you know what, maybe he's needed there. Maybe let's be okay with wherever he goes. And our son served his mission in Pennsylvania. So of course we would be Penn State fans, of course. But it was interesting in the news conference last night. He thanked the administration of BYU, and he also thanked the first presidency of the church. So obviously this had to have been, I don't think it was all just donors. I think they realized the importance of him and the program he's created and the following that he's brought along with him. Our whole family is like, please take all of our tithing money and give it to him, And one thing that Kalani did say as he got choked up in the news conference, he said, my wife was like, look at this, like, look at the outpouring of love. Like, how can you not just be so grateful for these people? And it's so funny. Like there's no celebrity or whatever that I'm like so attached to, but I'm grateful for his example. One last thing I want to say that from this article from President Reese, he said, in many ways, Kalani Sitake is the public face of Brigham Young University. Yeah. He leads our most prominent athletic team, and you couldn't ask for a better exemplar of the Christ-centered values for which this university stands. In saying that, I also communicate the great trust and confidence BYU's Board of Trustees has in Kalani Sitake's unwavering commitment to BYU's mission, which helps to build student athletes who learn by studying and by faith.
Yep. Anyway. Yeah, I liked the memes that were being shared too, where you could put Kalani's extension as part of your tithing slip. Oh, yeah. I saw that that went around, and just all of the things. Now here is the ugly side of this that I hate so very much, is that that if BYU loses to Texas Tech, in the Big 12 championship, everyone's going to be like, well, maybe we should have let him go. Like, it's that day and night with BYU fans. Not everyone, but certainly a large contingent where it's like, listen, we had all this time. We knew we were going to play him again. Why did he decide to go for it on 4th and 3 when we could have clearly get him out of here? What a bum. I can't believe we've extended with this guy. Yeah. That's the part of this. Like, choose a camp, stay in the camp. Yeah. We love him. We want him to be there. Or what a bum. Let's get him out of here and get someone new.
Totally. One more thing, I know we're going to be done with this, but one thing that is remarkable to me, last season we had Jake Retzlaff. Mm-hmm. He was amazing, like such a great quarterback. Kalani walked into this season with a brand new true freshman quarterback who walked on a couple of weeks before the first game opener of the season. And to have been able to lead this team to an 11-1 record, like, it's remarkable to me. So
yeah, well, it's not remarkable to the college football playoff committee selection team. So nice try. The other thing that we hit that you wanted to make sure that you mentioned, so allow you the opportunity, that is Whitney Levitt going to be on Broadway as part of Chicago. That's the news. And I thought, what more could she possibly have to add to that? But go ahead.
I mean, nothing really to add. I mean, I literally was like, Richie, we've got to do news. We've got to talk about this. You're like, yeah, we already talked about it. But I already have tickets to see her because one of my best friends texted me the second it was announced, and she goes, I want to do something crazy. I'm like, perfect, I'm in. What do you want to do? She goes, I want to go to New York and go see Whitney in Chicago. I'm like, great, I'm in. And we got our tickets that day. So
good for you. Are you opening night? Are you opening night, Whitney? Oh, good. No. Let her have a chance.
Yeah, we need to let her. Yeah, we're going like midway through. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to New York on a field trip with my son in the middle of February. And so I was like, oh, I can't really, but I'm going to do another trip because I didn't tell you my other exciting news, Richie.
What is your
Um,
other exciting news?
my daughter is
Uh-huh.
now the breakfast setter upper at the Hampton Inn in Rexburg, Idaho, which means we get very discounted hotel rates at the Hilton hotels across the world. So
Well, this is bad
going,
news for you. And any sort of staying home and doing anything like that, this is the
it's
worst, best
gone.
news ever. It's gone.
Exactly, gone. Yeah. Literally, we are getting a Hilton hotel in New York for like $50 a night. So
That's incredible.
yeah. So anyway, she's now, giving back. 19 years of this girl taking, and
Yeah.
finally she's giving back.
About time.
Yeah. Yeah.
About time. What I thought you were going to tell me is that now you get free breakfast whenever you go to Rexburg, and I was like, got to set that
Not a
standard just a
flex.
little higher, just a little higher.
That's, yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
get all you can eat continental
Yes.
breakfast every time we
Yeah.
go to Rexburg. Shut up, shut the front door.
I know. Can you believe it? It's funny. We stayed at the Hampton Inn in Orem last weekend, and she was like critiquing their breakfast because she's
Hmm.
like, oh, well, at
Oh,
mine,
oh, oh.
I have 5 more tables to wipe down. They have only 8. I have
Yeah,
13.
yeah. She's taking thermometers to the food.
Yeah.
This isn't 125. This
Yeah,
isn't 125, y'all.
exactly.
There's a
Anyway,
temperature that this should be.
yeah.
All right.
So I'm
Well,
excited to see it. Actually never seen Chicago. I've seen almost, I feel like every Broadway play, but never seen that. It's never really interested me, but I think she's a fantastic dancer. So I think it'll be entertaining.
I hope she can sing it. There's quite a bit of singing in the part that she's been given.
Yes.
I don't know that she can or that she can't,
Right.
but looking forward to that. Okay. Well, I got to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you when because I always feel like people will listen and then break into my house, and I've been robbed several times as an adult, so I don't tell people when.
You have?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this
dang.
house.
No.
I swear I said that I've told people this, but maybe not. So when we moved into this house, we had to renovate the entire upstairs, like down to the studs, moving walls and putting in a beam that, cost more than the first car I ever purchased so that we
Okay.
could take walls out. We moved everything into our basement, and someone came with a moving truck and moved all of our stuff into their truck and stole all of it. No one knew
You are
us.
kidding.
No, swear. Like
Oh
just
my
out, out,
God.
out. So yeah, so that happened.
Wow.
Um and when I was in my old house, that house got robbed as well. So yeah,
That's
I don't
crazy.
particularly trust people, but the exciting thing is I'm going to be doing another live show, this time from the Polynesian Cultural Center on Oahu.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
And when is
and
that one?
well, I'm not going to tell you
Oh,
because
you're
then
not
people will
telling.
break
Yes.
into my house.
You're
But
right.
I
You're right.
will
You're
tell you, they don't know that I'm doing that yet. I'm just going on vacation there, and
right.
I'm going to see if I can't be like, "Hey, President of BYU Hawaii, I would love to record something with you while I'm here. Would that work out?" And I think they're a little bit loosier goosier
Yeah.
at the BYU Hawaii. So looking
That's
forward to
so
that. Yeah,
fun.
it'll be fun. And then I
Ooh.
get to come see you, and we're scheduling out shows for the Easter pageant.
Yep.
This
Fun
whole
times. So much going on this
yeah.
next first quarter.
Yeah, 2026. It's the time to go and do all the things in all the places. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
That's
mean,
not as
kicking it
catchy
off.
as it's not as catchy as do the thing in 25.
That's
I'll
true.
figure out another mantra.
Yeah, figure that out. Kicking it off with Leatherby's on January 5th.
And you'll be there,
I'll be,
right?
I'll be there. And do you think they'll let me bring cookies to Leatherby's?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. Yeah, I think
If
so
you,
because we're in the separate room. They'd let us bring a cake if it was a birthday, I think.
yeah. So I'll bring
Yeah.
cookies for everyone.
Okay.
So
I'm
that'll be fun.
bringing anyone who sends us an email, and then it does cost $20. That gets you any menu item. Anyone who comes, there will be a box of books that I'm trying to get rid of. Everyone will get a free book as well.
Awesome.
But you don't.
Love it.
It's not that you get to pick a book. You have to take a book with you. That's
Have
how
to
this
take
is
it.
going to work. And I will sign each of the books. I have not authored any of the books, but I decided this would be a thing that I'm going to do. They're books that have either been given to me, maybe I've done interviews about, or
Cool.
like sometimes people will just give me books because they're like, I'm out of the church, but these books are perfectly good. Would you take them? Sure, you bet. So I will sign books I haven't authored, and
Nice.
maybe you'll get a cookie It's contact at theculturalhall.com. Just let us know you're going to come to the live show. It is at $20 per person. So it will fill up. It will sell out. Of course, now that everyone knows for sure that you're going to be there. It is
Yeah.
the 5th of January, Leatherby's in Taylorsville. Let's take a break. And when we come back in the second half, we'll do actual articles of news.
This Christmas, give a gift that celebrates what matters most. At Latter Day 3D Studio, you'll find beautifully crafted temple snowflakes. These one-of-a-kind ornaments capture the beauty of sacred temples in every intricate design. Pair them with our other Christ-centered decor to bring warmth and meaning to your home. Each piece is 3D printed with care and inspired by faith. As a special to Cultural Hall listeners, get an extra 10% off when you use the promo code Cultural Hall at checkout. Discover the perfect Christmas gift, where faith meets craftsmanship. Go to latterdaythreedstudio.com.
Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the Cultural Hall sense. I have a DJ company, now 6 of us strong, great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we do those actual articles of news. Hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. So let's get into it. There are some of these articles that we've had in here for a while. Others that have not, for sure. But I want to start actually with this. Today is the day that the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion show airs. Is that correct?
I don't know.
I am 99% sure that the reunion show on Hulu goes today. As we record this, this is December the 3rd. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get all sorts of drama. There was,
Yes.
oh, nope, it goes on the 4th. So tomorrow, there's all sorts of drama in that they take the pictures at the end of a 12-hour day. So they all look terrible. Like now it seems that show has slipped into you guys need to know how much this is produced and why do we do this because they tell us to. And this looks this way because of this. Or they're sort of pulling down the fourth wall and saying, how reality TV are we?
Yeah.
We can find out more about that with the season 3 reunion show and season 4, of course, coming up sometime early in 26.
Early. Yeah, that's right. Now, I'm very curious to watch the reunion show. Do you know when they actually film it? Is it like it's been filmed in the last week or two, or was it filmed a couple months ago when it wrapped? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to be hearing about Dancing with the Stars? Are we going to be hearing about all that has just been happening?
What an interesting question. I don't know.
I don't either.
It premieres the 4th. Season 3, when was it recorded? Let's see if the internet will tell me. It was recorded sometime in November. So I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty recent. So
Recent-ish, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, I'm just glad it wasn't recorded like 4 months ago because then it's like, what's the point? Right?
Yeah, fair point. Yeah. She's not on neither of them are on Dancing with the Stars yet, all of those things. Yeah, who knows? They got to keep it in the news, right? If we're going to keep consuming it, we got to keep having it be there.
And I just have to say, who would have guessed a year ago that Whitney would be the breakout star of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Like, I would never have guessed it.
Well, define breakout star, because literally we have another story coming up. In fact, maybe we can go there about these jacked up sodas down in Australia, and that article refers to Michaela as the breakout star of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. A case could be made that Taylor Frankie Paul is the breakout star from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I've seen it as Demi, the villain, the breakout star, the villain of this. Like,
I guess in my opinion, the breakout star is the person that is actually maybe doing other things in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Like Taylor Frankie Paul doesn't really have any like I couldn't see her acting or having any kind of talent like that.
She's going to be headlining a TV show.
She is?
Yeah,
I
The
missed that one.
Bachelorette.
Oh, well, The
The
Bachelorette,
Bachelorette.
yes,
She
yes.
is.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh! If that is not having an own season of your own show,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean,
guess
she's
that's
not
true.
rouging her knees and pulling her stockings down and all that jazz like Whitney in Levitt or Whitney in Chicago, but it is every part of acting.
No, you're right. You're right. Because the reality is it's not reality. It is
Right.
acting. So yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right. I guess they're all finding their own way. But I did find it so funny, this restaurant called Hungry Jack's, which I think I saw it when I was in Australia. Is that the one that's kind of like Burger King? I don't know. Anyhow,
The logo certainly looks like the Burger
Burger
King
King.
logo.
Yeah.
And,
So
and I always think of breakfast whenever I hear Hungry Jack, because isn't there like
yeah.
the Hungry Jack sausage or something like
Yes,
that? Yeah.
I think so. I think so. And I remember in Sydney, I remember going like, that looks like Burger King. And a friend of mine told me like pretty much American restaurants don't do well in Australia, so they have to switch them enough, which is like switch the name and the logo and whatnot. So anyway,
Wait,
but
pause. I just looked something up.
okay.
Yes, Hungry Jack's is the same as Burger King,
Okay.
but for Australia, where the name Burger King was already trademarked. The Australian
Oh,
franchisee Jack Cowan chose the name Hungry Jack's as an alternative when Burger King first wanted to enter the Australian market. As a result, all the restaurants that would be Burger King in other countries are called Hungry Jack's in Australia.
okay. Interesting. I'm glad you looked that up. So they have 4 flavors of their jacked up sodas, not dirty sodas. They've got the dirty cola, the blue lagoon, strawberry dream, and pineapple punch. And yes, Michaela, the breakout star,
Uh-huh.
has tested them all because she is the person who's going to tell them if they're good or not.
Yes.
She says, we're the experts here in dirty sodas, so I'm going to be trying the strawberry dream and blue lagoon. And she gave them her stamp of approval that they were really good. So good for
Yeah.
them.
What I wish I could do, 5 years. How long has Swig been around? That's at least a decade, I'm sure.
Yes, in fact, one of my children told me the other day I was the OG fan of Swig because we went to the original in St. George, like I probably maybe 12 years ago. It was the tiny little shack. No one else knew about it. So yeah, 10 or 12 years.
Oh, I don't know that I knew that the original was St. George. I thought the original was Provo.
Nope.
No.
St. George. And
Interesting.
actually, if you want to know something
Yes,
interesting,
please.
the founder of Swig is one of my best friends, really good friends. Like from college, they did college together. I mean, they visit each other. And then her husband had some like sex, like molestation kind of
Oh,
charges,
geez.
pedophilia against him. And they divorced, and she ended up taking the whole Swig empire that they had started together. And anyway, recently, this last year, it was kind of his name was dug up as being one of the owners of Swig, and he's a pedophile, sex offender, whatever. And she's
Oh,
like, no, 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 he's like not a part of it or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so it was my friend's friend, and she started it and then was like a single mom going through this awful divorce and has built it into this huge empire. So
oh my
pretty cool.
gosh. Okay. Wow. Those are a lot of things that I didn't know.
Yeah.
All
Weird
to
fact.
say, I wish that I could go back in a time machine like 5 years ago and just develop a great franchise thing like your crumble cookies and be like, hey, everybody, because I know Swig was sort of kind of trying to do it, but it's mostly Intermountain West, but like had big vision, low
Mhm.
buy-in, and just been like, guys, we are doing this. Everyone buy it now because who are we kidding? Of course they are going to love sugary drinks everywhere. It's not just a Mormon thing. Let's get them everywhere. We talked to that the guy who did it, the SOTA,
Oh,
SOTA
right.
shop in Minnesota. Same
Yeah.
thing. It's gone into now other countries as well. And of course, I mean, it's the worst thing in the world for us from a
Yeah.
health perspective. Drink responsibly. But of course, everywhere will like really super sugary drinks. Please
Yeah.
and thank you.
Yep. Yep. Wild.
But Hungry Jack's approved
Yep. Got
by
it.
the breakout star of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yep. Yep.
This was interesting, and I only want to give it just a brief amount of attention. Jasmine Rapley or Rapley, I'm pretty sure it's Rapley.
Yeah.
New podcast that is coming out. It is called Informed Saints. It is her plus her husband plus scholar Stephen Smoot, who I'm pretty sure is with by common consent. I'm not positive, but the website by common consent. He does a lot of stuff with them, or
Okay.
used to. I think once upon a time, Stephen and I, probably a decade plus ago, were talking about maybe doing some stuff with the Cultural Hall. That's out. Informed Saints, you can find it wherever you find the Cultural Hall. I think that it is, just like anything else, there are some that you'll go, oh, that's so great. And others that you're like, what are we doing here? What is
Yeah.
happening right now? Although I would tell everyone in a quick warning, shalt have no other shows before this one, everyone.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I actually started following Jasmine maybe 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I've really loved her perspective on a lot of when, oh gosh, the Girls Camp podcast, when she's come out, Things Against the Church or whatever, Jasmine
Mhm.
will kind of like go and be like, okay, this is why what she's saying is not exactly right or whatever. Anyway, but the other day she posted a TikTok of like a mom talk kind of thing, but it was with LDS podcasters, and I
Mhm.
was so disappointed you were not on there dancing.
Well, they were on a cruise and I wasn't invited.
Oh, they were. I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Why
Oh,
were
yeah.
you
They
not
were
invited?
cruising the seas with. Well, because here's the thing. Here is the thing that for the better and for the worse that I've just had to come to grips with. If you are like a true blue man, the church can do no wrong, or oh, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound right. Like that is a whole group of people, and or shows and or podcasts, right? Let me tell you why that's wrong. I've got to defend it from the church's perspective. Like, okay, there it is. And then you have the church is so terrible. Let me tell you the awful things that they've done. Or, yes, of course we're members, but we're really trying to lead you astray. Leave the church. This is where we need to sow doubt and all of that. And then right in the middle, you have this where we say, hey, yeah, you know what? Probably there's some, that's horrible. We should not have done that. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Or there's no truth in what that person is claiming, or the amount of mental gymnastics to get to the point where you are trying to defend that way is too much.
Yep. Yep.
And that's where we live, and no one wants to be associated with that.
Yep. I like living there. I like being right there in the middle.
I think that most people live there.
Yeah.
But I think that it's very easy, or easier, I guess, to be like, nope, it's all true, and I got to be able to defend it, or what a bunch of crap, forget it, guys, I'm out. To be
Yeah.
able to live in the difficult middle is hard, and so we're not good enough for the good guys, and we're not bad enough for the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So people can check that out. I thought this was particularly interesting, so I'll sort of lead on this story about the four men that are suing the church. Now, this story has been in our gathered news for a little bit. We haven't done it because it's so hard to talk about these lawsuits. Not hard to talk about a lawsuit, but about these scenarios where the church is being sued for allowing or embedding or looking the other way when we have sex offenders serving in the church. So most recently we talked about the brother of D. Todd Christofferson, President Christofferson, in jail for I think 2 people claiming sexual abuse with him. This is in Washington, the Mountain Lakes Ward or Mountain Lake Ward. That 4 have sued the church over this gentleman. His name is David Herget, and this happened a while ago. Let me tell you about this. So what happened is David had admitted to raping his own 13-year-old daughter. I should have probably said before I got into this, hey, adult ears, everyone. But I feel like talking about child abuse, people know that this is where this is coming.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not going to get better for a minute. So if you're listening and thinking, oh, it won't get worse than this, it probably will for a minute, and then you can come back and join it. So David Herget, he had previously admitted to raping his own 13-year-old daughter back in 1993, but then obviously he was excommunicated, but then he was rebaptized and able to be brought back into the church. I don't, for all intents and purposes, if the story stopped there, I guess, an argument could be made on both sides where I go, can you truly be forgiven? Can you truly change? Is there, okay. I would allow that person to be rebaptized and say, great, glad to have you back in the fold.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the extension of my grace as far as that goes sort of ends there. Yep. He then was allowed to rise to a position of authority once again. He only served 180 days in prison after the church, that is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, urged leniency. And then, despite the church excommunicating Herget, he was allowed to get back into certain church services by 97, so just 4 years after he had been in jail for 180 days. The plaintiffs allege that the church encourages forgiveness and reintegration for excommunicated members. Sure. They asked church members and expected church members to treat Herget as if he was a new man and his previous crimes hadn't happened, which I get the spirit of that.
Sure.
This guy has repented. Though his sins may be as scarlet, may they be as white as snow. Yes,
Yep.
but
Big but.
yeah, a large but here. Not his, but to say,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, we don't know. He was allowed to participate in church services involving children. They allowed him to play the role of Santa Claus, where
Horrible.
children were encouraged to sit on his lap. Despite LDS policy holding the churches should not allow child sexual predators to take positions that directly involve children, he was allowed to give young boys rides to and from events and to create special programs for children that included pieces of candy. Herget used the authority of the church to isolate, groom, and abuse the children between 2001 and 2005, when he was once again arrested for child rape and molestation, according to the complaint. Now, Herget committed suicide in July of 2025 while incarcerated. The four plaintiffs allege that the church owed them a duty to protect them as minor children, but instead hid and overlooked Herget's crimes against them for the sake of protecting the church's reputation and avoiding scandal. And here again, I'll beat the drum louder for those in the back. Yes. Do I believe that repentance is possible? Yes. Do I believe that people can become a new man or woman? Yes. Do I think that those people should be put in any sort of way that they could have that opportunity again, even if they don't, right? Like, even if this story, I would have large issue with this story, even if it was, and they allowed him to serve in this and nothing ever happened again, I also have issue with that story.
Yeah.
It's too bad, so sad. You have done things that you do not get to be in these positions anymore. That's it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Case closed, door done. Because and to those leaders or to church leaders or wherever it is on the other side, there is some, like, I don't know if blame is the right word, but you are responsible.
Yeah.
In part for being like, yeah, we trust you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and be there. Yep, that's fine. Like, it is the thing to me. I don't have kids. Maybe we won't ever have kids. But like this sort of thing where it's like, oh, he's or she's in the ward, the return missionary, he's got his own kids. All of those things that we sort of put in our brain to go, oh, that's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do. I think people are all right. I would trust people with my kids, but it would be far more than just like, we wear the same underwear and go to the same building on Sundays. Like, it's so much more than all
Absolutely. No, I fully agree with you. I think it's different to forget, like, to show forgiveness for someone, like you said, like, okay, you've repented, etc. But unfortunately, you did this thing that will be with you for the rest of your life. And like, I don't think there's any coming back from committing child abuse like that, as far as like your brain to be able to do those sorts of things. There is something wrong with your brain. I mean, there just really is. I mean, and so yes, come back into the fold and come to church on Sunday and partake of the sacrament, but you will never be in a position where you are alone with children in any way, shape, or form. And the church does have a responsibility, and they did fail these children. I really do believe that. And I'm one to always to be like, oh, when you talk about like our bishops or, oh, what is the word? Oh my gosh, when someone comes in and shares that they've been abused and bishops need to like then report it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, did they do the right thing? I don't know. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. But on something like this, where they are convicted, they served jail time, they admitted to rape. This
Yep.
is not something that was like, well, maybe it wasn't as bad as they say.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. It was very bad, and the church has a responsibility. And I honestly hope these four men get restitution for what happened to them because it isn't fair and it's not okay. And I remember as a child, my uncle, this is maybe I was a teenager. I remember my uncle, part of his calling at church at the time was to be the companion for someone in the ward who had committed a crime like that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
basically, he just had to watch him. Like he would go to everywhere he went, he would go with this man.
Hmm.
Which honestly, I appreciate that that was put into place.
Yeah.
That,
Yes.
here this man is being allowed back into church, but he is a convicted sex offender and he needs to be watched at all times. He's not allowed to be there alone. And that was just a really interesting thing that I was like, that should be a policy. If
Yeah.
you're, I mean, just like a sex offender that can't live a certain proximity from a park or anything, you will unfortunately carry that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You made a choice. No
Yeah.
one held a gun to your head and made
Right.
you commit that crime. So
Right.
I hope now, this was back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. Hopefully we're doing better now, 25 years later, but it's stuff like this is still happening
Yes.
and hopefully way less often. And I hope that they do get restitution because it's awful.
Oh, but he comes to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good that he comes to church, but don't put my kids in harm's way.
yes. Yeah. It's a thing. Regrettably, I think that we're just like far too nice or far too like hopeful.
Mhm.
I think that I don't want to discount like the power of God to be able to change people,
True.
but I just think that sometimes we look real foolish when we're like, yeah, he told me he changed and I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it again? Oh, shoot, shame on me. And also
Yeah.
those kids that had to be in that scenario, and also the families of those that were affected by those children. And also, anyway, I don't need
Well,
to
and
beat the
like you
drum
said,
anymore.
yes, the power of God is there to help these people change for sure. And probably maybe 90% of them do change, but we aren't going to risk anything on that other 10 or 20% that don't change. Like we're going to assume that like, hopefully the power of God changed them, but we're not going to put them in a place where they'll be tempted again.
Yeah. The alcoholic, we would think he should be called to be the cashier at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
fine.
or the
He's fine.
bartender,
He'll be
for
fine.
sure.
He just needs a job. He just
Yeah.
needs nourishment by the good job of liquor.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? All the rest of the stories. Okay.
Well, we didn't, do we want to talk about the missionary in Tahiti?
Oh, yes, please take me here.
He was middle of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, heard something outside or a knock on the door, went to the door, and he was hit in the head with a rock and then thrown off of the balcony of his apartment. It said it was 3 stories, I think, that he was pushed off of. There was like an eave underneath where his fall was broken a little bit, so he didn't suffer really horrible injuries, but definitely had a concussion. And he did come home to recover from his injuries, which were not life-threatening, thank goodness. But I did read an article that was a local article in Tahiti. It was in French. I had to translate it. That basically said the person who did it is still at large, and they don't know why. Was it a random attack? Was it someone who was under the influence, or was it a hate crime? They don't know. So kind of scary, sad. The missionary, what I read is that he's hoping to go back out and wants to go. His name is Eric Valgardson. And what I read is that he's hoping to go back out once he recovers. So
He'd only been on his mission for like 6 weeks, which tells
Yeah.
me that like he'd just gotten there.
yeah,
Still the motive unclear. Anything ranging from a failed burglary to a religiously motivated attack. Just craziness.
yeah,
Knock,
Again,
knock,
like-
2 a.m. Hey,
Yeah.
and then, not comically, but that's what I sort of envision in my head, that the Eve is catching him. It's
Yeah.
like, kung, ka-tung, ka-tung.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, miracle that he wasn't hurt more than he was. So,
Yes.
but yeah, what's going on with, and anyway, the people in Tahiti are just so nice. I don't know why someone would do that. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
anyway,
hopefully the like general populace of people everywhere are
Right,
nice
are
enough
nice.
that they wouldn't break into someone's house and just pick them up and throw them out the. I mean,
Hopefully.
Tahiti specifically, sure, but hopefully, like in general, like they're
Yeah.
like Montanans, they're so nice. They don't break into your home and throw you out from the second or third level apartment. Jeez,
Yeah. Yeah.
almost 20 feet though fell to concrete. So,
Wow. Yeah. Pretty sad, but glad he's doing well and hopefully he gets back out there soon.
um, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say this was a particularly interesting opinion piece. This is from the City Weekly. So lots of cities have this. It's the newspaper that's in the thing, and you go, newspaper, what's that? And it's in the box that everyone has vandalized. It's on the corner when you have like the underground scene, the people that are in the know before it was in the know. In Salt Lake, it's called the City Weekly.
Okay.
And so this was an article from this about President Oaks. And I thought it was interesting. Um, Basically, what it talks about is the transition from Elder or President Nelson to President Oaks, the tension between his strict, that is, President Oaks' strict doctrinal conservatism and his desire to combat right-wing political extremism. So the article talks about how President Oaks has consistently defended the traditional family values and opposed LGBTQ rights. There's some level of controversy. You remember the exclusion policy from the early to mid 20 teens that said children of gay couples couldn't be baptized. They'd have to either denounce their parents or wait until they're 18 years old in order to be able to be baptized. There's some like rumblings or murmurings that he was sort of the one that said, hey, this needs to happen. It's all consensus for something like that to happen, but that he might have been the one to kind of make that happen.
Yeah.
He used his legal background to craft arguments against the same-sex marriage as well as the family, a proclamation to the world, and he frequently frames gender nonconformity and same-sex marriage as counterfeit or Satan's work. Right. So those are obviously the very strict conservative things that President Oaks does. But then this article talks about sort of progressive stances on race, women, and politics. First of all, with race in 2020 saying, of course, Black Lives Matter in a devotional offending some conservative members. He also admitted he could not find truth in the historical reasons given for the priesthood ban on Black members. About women, he was one of the first leaders to state that women set apart in church callings hold priesthood power and acknowledge that the church has not always wisely used women's qualifications, and then also has urged members to accept election results peacefully and warned against violence prior to the January 6th insurrection. And also privately with Matthew Harris, author of Second Class Saints, he allegedly, apparently off the books, whatever the thing is, said that his greatest fear is right-wing extremism for the church. So it's what I love about this article, and the only reason why I didn't take it out of like our news is I just think it's so complicated. Life in general, but being a leader of the church, being whether that be a bishop, a stake president, or like in this case the prophet, I am sure that you have very strong feelings about some things, and then very strong feelings in other things that normally the group that would feel one way about LGBTQ, etc. issues would feel A about women and race issues, but in this case, President Oaks feels B about about race and women's issues. And so like the grace to be able to be given to him to be like, yeah, he'll probably get some things right for me, air quotes, right for me. So right. Oh my gosh, it's so great. So good. And there may be some things that he may do that I go, oh my, what is happening right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
There won't ever be. And I don't know. I guess it's just a heavy-handed lesson, I suppose, about like when we look at elections and when we look at these things, I don't think that you're going to get, or I certainly hope that you don't get someone that is all column A on everything, because I don't think that that's genuine.
Yep.
I don't think that anyone is like that. I would venture the guess or, wager the bet to say most people are like, I'm a little A here, I'm a little B here. I guess I'm predominantly A, so I'll affiliate with A, but I don't think anyone, and unfortunately we have said, are you A, Molly, or are you B? Which
Mhm.
are you? Because you can't be A, B, A, B, 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 A. Which one
Yeah.
are you? So it's a great article. You can find it in the show notes and read it for yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. When I read it, I was like, okay, I know this is an opinion piece, but I think it's fantastic. And I think in my own life, I have some of my nieces who have struggled with the last couple of years, of the church, and a lot of it is because of some things that President Oakes has said. And
Mhm.
I think it's important to look at the person as a whole and see that we may disagree on some areas, just like you said, and we may agree on others. No one's going to be 100%. And I think that is what also makes him real and makes him very uh, just someone that we can like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me too. I actually feel very similarly about these things that he's saying, or maybe I don't agree with this, but I agree with this. And I would say if I had never read this before, my brain would think he is a little more way conservative based on some of the things he's said over the years.
Mhm.
And so this kind of, I'm in the middle of listening to his biography too, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love President Oakes. I've actually always really loved him. I've loved his no nonsense kind of approach to things.
Mhm.
But I think that this gives you a little more of a realistic perspective of who he is. And it's just great. I really think everyone should read it just to get, I need to send it to my nieces so they can read and be like, guess what? He's not this super right wing who thinks all people are bad and whatever, he definitely has his things that he's passionate about and that he feels really strongly about.
And I would also say let's take the thing that let's say that he was with President Monson and said, "Hey, we really need to not allow kids of gay couples to be baptized." Right?
Mhm.
Let's say that is. I don't think that is how that works. I think all the apostles at least have to give like approval for it to be able to go forward, or certainly at least all of the first presidency. But let's say he's the one that was like, we need to do this.
Yeah.
So it goes into place, and then it's repealed for all intents and purposes of a better word. How many times have I done something where I'm like, this is a great idea. This is going to be the way. This is the thing that needs to happen. And then very quickly I go, oh, you know what? Shoot, is there a way we can walk this back a little bit? I did not
Yeah.
have this understanding. I did not
Yeah.
have this perspective. I didn't know that this would affect this people this way. I hadn't considered that because maybe I was speaking, outside of my lane of understanding or whatever the case may be. But to be able to have that be part of his experience, I think
Yeah.
there's a certain amount of like, okay, I'll allow it. I
Yeah.
didn't
No.
like it. I didn't
Great.
like it at all.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah. I
part
mean,
part.
yeah, on that one, I really do think it was done from a place of love and trying not to divide families. Like I remember thinking of it at the time. That is why it was put in place is we don't want to come in between mothers and fathers and their children and whatnot. So like the high level thinking is like, okay, but actually it did more damage in so many other ways. So, and I think, and they realize that. And I see that a lot in business, like at Crumble, we see it all the time. From the corporate level, they'll make a decision. And as owners, we're like, what? No, 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 no. This is not going to work.
Uh,
And we tell them this isn't going to work. And then 2 months later, they cut whatever they were like, oh, yeah, it actually doesn't work. And we
yeah.
didn't realize on the front lines and at the customer level, this policy or this operation isn't working. And so I kind of see that they meant well and they thought it was going to be something, but it's also really, really great when they can say like, okay, actually this didn't work and we made a mistake.
Yeah, and conversely, and I bet you could think of an experience where this has happened as well, where like the head has said, "Hey, y'all need to do this," and you're like, "I don't know, this doesn't seem right," and they're like, "Trust us," and you're like, "I don't
Mhm.
know," and they're like, "Trust us," and then you do it, and you're like, "Oh, yep,
Oh,
oh yeah, no, you guys were
yeah.
right there." Yep.
Yep. Totally.
Have you followed any of this horrible story out of the building in Hong Kong?
Oh, yes. It's awful. Awful.
For people that don't know, I know that it's triple digits now, 150 something that
Hmm.
have died
Yeah.
in the fire. These massive, multi-story buildings. Apparently, some safety measures not doing like the what's it like the structure that's around the Salt Lake Temple. What is that called?
The
The
scaffolding,
scaffolding.
right?
Thank you.
Scaffolding. Hmm.
Scaffolding was made of bamboo, highly flammable. They were using some foam, super highly flammable. Anyway, there was a fire that broke out, and it just, and these people here in the building just sort of trapped. Okay, so what does this have to do with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Well, the Asia area presidency of the church released a statement saying, and I think that this is unique. So many of these things come out of Salt Lake, but this came out of that Asia area presidency. We join the people of Hong Kong in mourning the tragic loss of life and the hardship caused by the fire in Tai Po on November 26th. Our condolences go out to those who have lost their homes, loved ones, and livelihoods, and we pray for those still unaccounted for, which there are still very many, and for their families. We also express deep gratitude for the courageous first responders who continue to work tirelessly during this difficult time. Together with the government and local communities, the church is committed to providing help where it is needed. May all who have suffered find comfort, healing, and renewed strength through the care and kindness of those around them. And just a simple but very poignant message for anyone, insert any tragedy, and then be able to say, oh yeah, this is where our focus can be. How can I help? What can we do? Being able to do that, and the church is praying about that. Let me ask you this: in all of your world travels, almost becoming a Penn State litany lion, whatever the thing is.
I know.
Have you ever been to Sharon, Vermont?
Never. I've never been to Vermont.
Well, the people of South Royalton, that is where Sharon, Vermont is, where the birthplace of Joseph Smith. They would like you. They would encourage you to come and to visit the birthplace and be able to see religion through the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' eyes. This was just sort of a brief article. It's in a local paper there. The holiday season, we hope that anyone who has any interest in history or religious history would come and visit. That's Larry Nielsen, the president of the Joseph Smith birthplace. It was a great story here about a very important human in United States and world history. That is Joseph Smith. Whether you believe he was a prophet or not, he was a remarkable individual who accomplished a lot. Church officials said that they hope this site changes the narrative around membership and the congregation's overall mission. It's amazing how this monument got here. There's a big monolith that's there. Here's the thing. I've been. I went a few years ago. I went with my wife and my dad and stepmom. And, like Kirtland. Have you been to Kirtland?
No.
Oh, come on. You need to do a church history tour.
Yeah, we are actually planning that this summer.
Good.
It's doing church history.
Good. I can't wait to hear about what your experience is. So, but Cleveland, big city, Kirtland, just east of Cleveland. And so you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's in the suburbs. That's nice. That's nice for the early saints. They could go to Cleveland, to the big city. It's obviously not how it was, but you sort of, that's how you do. Sharon, Vermont, imagine nowhere. and then drive a little farther and then have a monolith and a visitor center. And that's what Sharon, Vermont is like.
Wow.
It is a special place. The missionaries there were so very knowledgeable. I think we spent way too much time there because we were just like, and what about, and how did they, and did he, and was this, and all that, right? But yeah, if you go expecting hey, we're going to hit the birthplace and then we'll hit up a place for breakfast and then go, nope,
not happening.
Nope, it is okay, you see all the way over there? Yeah, go a little further. And that is where the birthplace of Joseph Smith was. So,
I don't think I knew he was born in Vermont. So I've just learned something new today, and we will add it to our list.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah. We want to hit up, actually next fall, we're doing a big New England road trip. So we're hitting Vermont, New Hampshire,
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing all that for? Just cause?
Well, my daughter wants to hit all 50 states before she graduates. So for her fall break, she'll be the last one at home. And we're like, let's hit up 6 states all at once for your fall break. So, and I love, the fall leaves in the New England area. I mean, I've been to Maine, I've been to Massachusetts, but I haven't been to a lot of the other areas up there. So
you'll love it.
Yeah. But church history, our oldest son did a church history tour in high school, and the rest of us just haven't. So we're hoping to hit that this summer.
You need to. Call to repentance. Make it happen.
Thank you. We will.
You're welcome.
Now that we have our Hampton Inn and all that, we can afford to stay at the hotels anywhere.
Yeah. Guess what's not in Sharon?
No Hampton Inn?
No Hampton Inn.
Maybe
not even in the same county. Not even in, I don't even know if there's one in I don't know. There's nothing around there.
It's a good thing Vermont is so small, because you can probably drive there, hit it, and then just go somewhere else.
Yeah. We happened upon a lamb festival when we were in Vermont. So
cool.
Keep eyes open. You never know what you might find. What you might find yourself going into. Let's see. Let's end on this. I thought this was sort of interesting. Recently, Elder Uchtdorf was talking. This was at a commemoration of the German National Day of Remembrance, when many came to mourn the loss of life in both world wars and in many countries. And the popular apostle and former Air Force pilot for that European country was the keynote speaker. Elder Uchtdorf was 18 years old and an Air Force cadet in Germany during the Cold War, and sort of talked about, as the headline of this article says, warning of Cold War-like shadows on the horizon, according to Elder Uchtdorf. And I think this is a great way to end this episode. This is a quote from his keynote speech. He says, quote, "Peace is, as we all know, not just absence of war. Peace means that people can live with dignity, that conflicts can be solved without violence, that we listen to one another and care for one another. This is true for all levels. This is for the family, for individual lives, for politicians, for communities, for all phases of life. We can find a way of respecting and accepting each other as we are and help each other, even disregarding our differences." So I thought that was particularly poignant and appreciated that. And, though not the prophet, for him to say like, hey, this kind of feels a little Cold War-y, the way that we're behaving towards one another. Maybe we want to check this a little bit. Are we feeling a little Cold War-y right now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
Yep.
Okay, let us wrap this up. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body,
And if you weren't able well enough to listen this week, you'll be well enough next time.
and that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, are you ready to do this?
I am.
Okay, go Tar Heels.
Tiger with a U.
Oh, there you go. Good one. Good one. Chocolate Cake Bites podcast.
Debbie Wineless.
Yeah, Wanless, I think.
Wanless. Sorry
Yeah.
about
Debbie Winelist.
that. Wineless.
No, I'm teasing.
Debbie, I'm so sorry.
No,
Debbie Wineless.
she understands it. She loves the attention that we give when we get it wrong, and then we have to correct it. It's great.
Good.
Alpine Lakes Travel and Latter Day. Let me make sure I get this right. They're the newest ones. And Latter Day 3D Studio will be saving a seat for you
On the back row.
of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row. We really gotta go on the Culture Hall show.